I'm Salvatore Babonis, and I'm here to talk Australia-China relations. Amos Aikman of The Australian reports that the Australian government has announced big plans for the redevelopment of the Northern Territory, and in particular its capital city, Darwin. The logic is apparently use it or lose it. If Australia doesn't develop Darwin, China will. Now, this kind of China scaremongering is a bit overblown. China is not invading the Northern Territory. China is not going to own Darwin anytime soon. China, or at least a Chinese firm, does own the port of Darwin, or at least it has it on a 99-year lease, and that is an Australian-owned goal. Australia, or in particular the Northern Territory government, should never have been permitted to lease the port to a Communist Party-linked firm from a totalitarian foreign state. That's not what you do with your critical infrastructure like ports, especially not when that port serves U.S. Marines who are based in Darwin, as well as LNG exports to Japan, and is a crucial link in Australia's northern infrastructure. But that was Australia's fault. That wasn't China somehow muscling into the Northern Territory. That was Australia giving it away to save a few $1 million. Now, under the Morrison government, that's not going to happen again, and it's certainly a good idea to build roads in Darwin and to reduce regulation, to streamline regulations, to provide secure land titles. I mean, these are everything reported here that the government is planning to do in the Northern Territory. It's all good policy, but it's not really necessary, or it's not even useful for countering Chinese influence in the South China Sea and Southeast Asia. What Australia really needs to do that is to get involved in supporting Indonesian efforts to push back on China's expansive claims in the region and to help Indonesia, frankly, defend itself against Chinese encroachment. That will keep China 500 miles north of Darwin. As for the rest, it's all a matter of Australia simply being sensible. Don't let Huawei run your 5G internet network. Don't let Landbridge run your crucial defense port in Darwin. And, just have a sense of perspective. If a Chinese company wants to buy an Australian milk producer so they can access Australian technology to improve public health in China, well, that's probably a good thing. If a Chinese company wants to provide port services for the Australian Navy, that's probably a bad thing. And a little sense of perspective and a little good sense will keep Australia secure for the foreseeable future.